As you heard, this is going to be my 8th learning technologies coming up, and every year I've had to speak. This year, no speaking parts, just go, meet people, say hello, and then this morning I find out I'm doing this. So you're going to have to forgive me. I've learned, I know enough of this, but not too much to be insightful. I'm going to try not to read the notes word for word. So we're going to talk about how AI will influence better data-driven L&D decision making. So to start, my name's Craig Gleeson. I've come from sorry. There you go. You can look him up. So this is what I'm going to try and cover today and talk through. How many of you know Docebo or use Docebo? Even? How many of you know Docebo or know of Docebo? And how many of you use Docebo? Just so, have I got any users in the room? Okay, 2. Could you guys come? Fantastic. So, in terms of Docebo, they started out in Milan, a chap called Claudio Erba, and they've now become rapidly grown, and they're a global enterprise learning platform powered by AI. So as you can see, they were founded in 2005. They've now got offices in London, in the US, in Dubai, in Italy, and also they're now headquartered in Toronto and recently had an IPO. You can see here how many clients they have. It's grown enormously. And really what they've done is really they're focused on calling this a learning platform, which I'll come to later on as well. So Docebo's built up of 3 parts. So Learn, which is our traditional LMS, is sort of the traditional tracking and reporting we tend to get. Coach and Share, this is where we start to tap into the 70-20-10 model. So for those of you who currently have Docebo or have seen it, this is where we can create that peer-to-peer connection. This is where we can get learners sharing their experiences, sharing videos they've learned, and of course you can curate it, it's what everyone asks. But you can see that's how we can get the social and experiential learning there as well. We also have the extended enterprise. Now really this is focused on external training. So Docebo can be used for internal and external training. And I love this, so we use this, we have used Docebo for events like today, and then follow-up material, follow-up learning as well. So it works really well for both an internal and an external use case. But all of this feeds in to the AI center that we're going to be talking about today. So as I mentioned, Docebo calls itself a learning platform, although I did notice on their website it's gone back to LMS, but it's a learning platform. And the reason is, really, the traditional LMS was designed to deliver a top-down approach to learning, where admins, you've all been there, you're going to push your courses onto learners, be it face-to-face, be it webinars, be it e-learning courses. But we now know that today's workforce gathers knowledge mainly through on-the-job experiences and social learning, not in traditional classroom settings as such. Although there's still a value for it, we're all here today. A driving factor behind why learning technologies must now support the real-life learning experience. And the learning platform is seen as an evolution of the LMS. It's designed to facilitate learning and blending formal, social, and experiential learning to produce a holistic and learner-centric approach to learning. An LMS remains a core component of the learning platform, but it's really adding value in learning. So when powered by advanced technology such as AI, the learning platform will augment the learner experience by delivering personalization, and that's going to be a key part of this as well. So, AI. Out of interest, by way of a show of hands, how many of you use AI in your strategies currently in L&D? Oh, good. Excellent. So really, AI is the development of computer systems, and how Docebo's done this is they've hired so many people to be working on this, and they best taught it to me that how AI works is we constantly expose it to questions and constantly input from our learners. And they actually trained their AI bot that lives within the system using 1 million pictures of cats and 1 million pictures of dogs until it learned how to identify which was a cat and which was a dog. And eventually that moved on to understanding which breed of cat or breed of dog that we have. So really it's all about having that input, and it gives us endless possibilities to take. And it allows us to perform tasks that normally have human input or a human intelligence, if you like. So we're going to use some algorithms to complete various tasks, such as visual perception, speech recognition. You probably have seen how AI is impacting, if you've got an iPhone, you can see constantly recommending you and suggested apps and all sorts. And really, it's bringing that into learning. And technology companies everywhere are investing in AI. You only have to think about Amazon or Google, Microsoft, Salesforce. How many things are recommended to you? If you've bought this, you're recommended this. And it's how we put that into learning. So these are the pillars of e-learning. So really, what it's about is all these pillars feed into, whether it's content analysis, it's all going into an algorithm. And that's going to create the personalization of the learning content. So each individual feels like they're getting a personalized experience every time they're interacting with a given system. And also it allows for content curation. If you're in IT, you don't necessarily want to see what someone in HR may see. But of course, we then want to have that holistic approach, and people have the ability to see content everywhere. So AI, in the context of e-learning, is built on learning-specific algorithms. So to be effective in L&D, an AI-driven learning platform is built upon learning-specific algorithms that are powered by a fine-tuned combination of machine learning, deep learning, and natural language processing. So we're going to go into each of those and what each of those mean. So machine learning, so this is where a computer learns without being explicitly programmed. For example, in machine learning capacities, a computer program is trained to recognize patterns or complete an action, such as identifying someone's face, which we're probably all familiar with now, or responding to a request for information. Training the system requires exposure to a lot of variables to completing a task and giving it as many as possible so it can start to understand what you're starting to create. And the algorithm is a set of steps that a person or a computer follows to accomplish a task. You can understand a recipe or the driving directions your dentist website provides, for example, as simple algorithms. Other algorithms obviously require a vast amount of computer programming. Some algorithms might return a poor answer or even an incorrect one. And in some cases, an algorithm that very efficiently produces a good answer might be preferable to a perfect algorithm that would choose the very best option, but also require far more time and computing power to reach that decision. So choosing the most appropriate algorithm for a task can make the task faster, more efficient, or more successful. An algorithm that improves with use is employing machine learning. So in deep learning, this is where we have interconnected layers of software-based calculators known as neurons, forming a neural network, which ingests vast amounts of input data and processes it through multiple layers. And these layers learn increasingly complex features of the data at each layer. The network can then make a determination about the data, understand whether its determination is correct, and then use what it's learned to make a determination about that data. And then natural language processing. This is the ability of machines to understand and interpret human language, the way it's written or the way it's spoken. Its objective is to make computers and machines as intelligent as humans in understanding language, with the ultimate goal to close the gap between how humans communicate and what the computer understands. So the combination of natural and machine language. In its simplest form, e-learning was meant to speed up learning without sacrificing quality, and AI is there to amplify and augment that. There's been an awful lot of studies about AI, less around learning. I think all the studies that you've read is all about how you boost profit margin, boost sales, constantly recommend products. So there's already a recognition amongst business leaders that AI are going to help their organization to maintain a competitive advantage. The issue is how to obtain that competitive advantage. That's remained unclear. And it's really down to the limitless potential of what AI can give us. But those lines are starting to be drawn, and what Docebo are aiming to do is draw them within the world of digital learning. So following on from that point, you can see here some statistics, a study by the Boston Consulting Group and MIT, some statistics here about what business leaders are starting to think about what AI can do and the power of it. Some of the results of that study, as we can see here, but there's a shift from delivering support to contextual support and continuous learning, not about the modality per se, but instead the experience and strong experiences. They require these three main factors to come together. with video, you can see here, and what we're saying with approaching saturation, with a tool, I don't know, say Vyond, you can create content really easily. But really, which whilst fantastic, creating videos for video's sake without a purpose doesn't cure the issue if there's no way to outline and modify the paths to include video and make it relevant. Okay, so that's all very well and good. We've got some lovely data there, but really, at a high level, what does this mean? So if we look at this, these are a few ways in which AI ultimately is going to start benefiting digital learning. So to build on that, how does it actually work? Well, here we're outlining what Docebo can do, and I'll show you a few screen stills of that so we can start to see what it looks like. These are a few of the actual functions currently that AI is capable of accomplishing. So they provide a really good look at the foundation necessary. So auto-tagging, this is pretty cool. So when you upload material into the system, it'll recognize words that are used, it'll pull out keywords, and the next time that's searched, that'll start to pick up. And again, you can see why it's so important that courses and data are constantly uploaded. And we need a number of assets to allow the auto-tagging to be listened to and start creating those tags as we go and search them. Again, we've got the deep global, the AI-powered deep search. Again, for example, I uploaded a PDF on, I don't know, articulate training, for example, and it pulled out all the words, triggers, layers, variables that are within there. It's really powerful. It doesn't just analyze what the title is and go in, it goes even further. So if you search that later on and you type in triggers, you can see every document or every course that has appeared in. And then invite to watch. So again, it's sort of the classic, the buzzword at the minute is saying that Netflix style. I quite like this in terms of it allows admins and learners to share their content contribution with a specific audience. Now, of course, in larger organizations, it's going to be hard to know exactly who that is, but the system will start recommending who might be best, to see this content as well. And this is what it looks like. As you can see, it's completely automated when you upload the content. This is sort of what it looks like here. Hopefully you can see what's in my tech bag, and it pops up with the keywords. And of course, as an admin, you can curate that. You can edit that to make sure it stays, it stays relevant for you. Again, the deep global search, it doesn't just pick up assets within eLearning, whether it's PDFs, Word documents, videos, it's all going to appear there. And again, we also have inviting to watch as well, as you can see. So really, how does that impact L&D admins? So in theory, once it's all set up and working, it should give you more time to connect with your learners and produce better examples. So you can see here, it's going to allow us to allocate resources, give us the right resources of the tasks of value. So learners are going to receive the exact content they need to fill the gaps and achieve their learning goals and keep it completely personalized. Ultimately, less seat time, more time getting out there doing what we want them to do. Equally, AI is automating the content scheduling and the delivery process. So again, this is ultimately game-changing technology. It's ironic that AI and machine learning are in fact designed to handle fairly menial, crucial tasks in the name of saving humans time to focus on bigger picture activities. And with AI, your learning platform could schedule coursework or deliver resources based on individual learner assessment, recent results, or simulations. And this is going to ultimately create an environment in which it's possible to automatically predict course maps for each of your learners and where they might want to enroll onto. Again, ultimately, we want to boost ROI. I think AI, you're sort of starting to go on a journey. It's really important to constantly upload content, constantly get your learners engaged with content, because that's what's ultimately going to feed it. Without that, it's not going to be very effective at all. We're not going to be able to recommend any content if there isn't any content to recommend. And again, there we go, lovely, like a fine wine. You can tell it's an Italian company. It gets better over time. And we've already started to see that. AI came into power with Docebo about a year and a half ago, and already our system that we use internally, it's night and day from what it was. So that makes it, ultimately, as you can see, it's all about adding that content. It's going to save you time in the long run and creating a better experience for learners and admins. Okay, Good. I think I just about kept in time as well. Nope, I didn't. All right. Not even close. There you go. But thank you, guys. Thank you for listening. I hope it was useful. If you've got any questions, grab at the end. Cheers, guys. Thank you.